What is up, guys? Dzeeff here. Today I am finally reacting to the new Master Duel ban list. This went into effect just a couple days ago, and obviously it was revealed last week. So here's the deal. I was on vacation from like the 22nd to the 29th, I believe, and this dropped on the 23rd. That was when they revealed it. So unfortunately, I was unable to do a live reaction, but it's been about a week now. We've had some time to think about this, and I was going to react to this a couple days ago, but I've been sick this week, so it's just kind of been crazy. But we are finally looking at this, and I want to give you guys my thoughts. I'll say this when it comes to the new ban list, it's a lot better than the first ban list that Master Duel got. This time around, we actually have a number of good hits that will make an impact on the ranked ladder especially, but I will say that there are a couple weird hits on this ban list and a few cards that didn't get hit, but I think overall it's not as bad as it could have been, as we've seen with the previous ban list. So I'll go card by card here. First up, we have number 75, Gossip Shadow. This is what they chose to ban instead of Rongo. With this banning, you can still make Rongo in some decks, but you won't be able to make it in Phantom Knights with as many material, at least, which is like the bigger deal here, because I don't know about you guys, but most of the time that I play against Rongo, it's against Phantom Knights, and without Gossip Shadow, it's going to be tough getting all this material on the card. Actually, these next three cards, Order, VFD, and Vanity's Emptiness, these were all cards that I was going to talk about in a video. So prior to this ban list, there were 5 cards in the game that were banned in the TCG and OCG format, but weren't banned in Master Duel. These are 3 of them, so they are now banned in this format as well. The 2 that are not banned in Master Duel yet, by the way, are Zodiac Trident and Predaplant Anaconda, so maybe someday those will be banned, but for now, these are all pretty good hits. Order and Emptiness are obviously very annoying trap cards, especially Emptiness in the Fluandarees deck, and True King of all Calamities, while at this point a bit outdated compared to the other crazy stuff in Master Duel, it still is a very problematic card, and I'm happy to see it banned. Virtual World with Calamities hasn't really been that good in Master Duel over the past few months, but obviously it was a huge problem when the game released, and it is still good to see Calamities banned, even if it's not as popular as it was 6 months ago. Finally, we have probably the weirdest hit on the entire ban list. Destiny Hero Celestial has been banned, so this is like their indirect hit to the DPE engine. You can still play Anaconda, you can still play DPE, but you can no longer get your draws with Celestial. Also, you'll see in a moment here, they limited Fusion Destiny. So if you want to play DPE, you're not going to draw Fusion Destiny as consistently. You're not going to be able to draw cards with Celestial. It's going to be a lot brickier, but if you're playing Anaconda, you can get to there pretty reliably, right? But I'm not really sure how many people are going to play that engine with Celestial ban and Fusion Destiny at 1 copy per deck. We'll have to see, though. I will say that the important part here that a lot of people maybe were a little bit curious about is that it does look like Konami is willing to ban URs. People were very worried that they would not ban any UR cards, but as you can see here, they are willing to do that, which is a good thing. These aren't all of the hits that I would have done. I'm surprised that Hulk and Auroradon are still legal. I'm surprised that Anaconda is still legal, but for what they are pretty decent. For the limited cards here, Fusion Destiny has gone from 2 to 1, like I said, and that does make drawing it a lot less likely. You are going to really have to make the Anaconda if you want to summon DPE. It's pretty tough to draw that one of Fusion Destiny. Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew is finally limited in Master Duel. This card is currently banned in the TCG, but it is now limited in Master Duel, and that is a lot more balanced. Luckily, a little while ago, they did fix the bug where you could use its graveyard effect multiple times in one turn, but Prank Kids with Brave were still very powerful, so I think this was a great limit on Konami's part. Next up, we have Crossout Designator and Pot of Prosperity. Once again here, 2 pretty weird hits. Crossout going to 1 is indirectly a hit to decks that would play Helki Fibrax and Auroradon and do a bunch of crazy combos, because now they only have Crossout and 2 copies of Called By instead of 3 Crossout and 2 Called By, but I'm not sure if that matters that much. They probably should have just banned Helki Fibrax in the first place. So Crossout is kind of a weird one, and then with Pot of Prosperity, I mean, that one's really out there. Pot of Prosperity is a lot worse when there's only 1 copy of it in your deck. Do you really want to like cut cards like Extravagance or Desires just for that 1 copy of Prosperity? Do you play them all in the same deck but then have some awkward opening hands if you draw multiple? Who really knows? It's definitely a weird hit though, and I'm not really sure why they did it. I would have liked to see this card semi-limited if they were going to affect it at all, but at limited, it's pretty hard to justify playing in any decks. Maybe you'll play it in decks that were already playing 3 because they couldn't play Desires or Extravagance. Maybe you'll still play 1, but for a lot of players, they might move on to a different draw spell. For the semi-limits, we have first off Altergeist Multi-Faker going to 2 copies per deck. This is a pretty big difference. It means that the deck is a lot more resilient to banishing effects especially, and I do think that Altergeists are in a much better spot in the new Master Duel format than they were in the previous Master Duel format. Still not a top contender by by any means, but definitely a playable rogue deck. You also have Salamangreat Gazelle going to 2 copies per deck as well, which is great. I love to see that. And then you have Skill Drain and Tenki going to 2, so these are actually hits. Skill Drain is obviously a very annoying card, and no complaints there. And Tenki is a really good consistency card. Probably should be at like 1 copy per deck like it is in the TCG, but hey, at least with 2 copies, the decks that play it are a bit less consistent. Tri-Brigade Zoo is still going to be a good deck, even with only 2 copies of Tenki and 2 copies of Fractal. I would imagine on the next ban list, though, they might consider banning Dryden like it's banned in the TCG and the OCG at the moment. Finally, we have 1 Unlimit. We have Night Assailant going to 3 copies per deck. I don't know if this card got the errata. I'm not entirely sure. I think it did, right? At least this screenshot seems to think that it did, but with that errata, you can no longer loop it, so it's not really that big of a deal. I don't think anyone's going to come up with any crazy combos with this card. It's not a hard once per turn if this errata is correct, but it's not going to be like that overpowered. I'm not really sure what flip monsters you would realistically be recycling. In general, not a bad ban list, especially compared to the previous ban list, but it's not as big as maybe some people would have wanted. Like I said, Helki Firebrax should probably be banned, or Auroradon, because those combos take way too long in Master Duel. I don't know about you guys, but if my opponent resolves Helki Firebrax and I don't have a hand trap, I am not watching that whole combo, right? I'm not going to sit there and watch a 10-minute combo. So I really wish they banned either Helki Firebrax or Auroradon. I mean, Auroradon is banned in the TCG, Helki Firebrax is banned in the OCG, so maybe they could have picked one of those to ban in Master Duel, and of course Anaconda should have been banned as well. Other than that though, the hits aren't too bad, just a couple weird ones. One other part of the update that I found pretty interesting is that now we have a standard format, of course, but also an unlimited format. In this format, every single card is completely unlimited, as the name would imply. What's weird about this though is that with the banned cards that are currently in the game, I don't know if you guys know this, but you're not allowed to craft them, even though they are like programmed in, I believe, or at least some of them are. If you guys remember a while back, some people were able to hack their decks to play these cards, so clearly Konami has programmed a few of them in the game. But what is weird is if you change it to unlimited in the deck builder, while it does technically allow you to play these cards in your deck, I mean, they're not forbidden anymore, you actually still can't craft them. What this means is that people can't build like GOAT control format or Edison format tournaments and stuff like that, and that is definitely a real shame. Obviously, the erratas from those cards that have changed over the years wouldn't be allowed to go back if you built a GOAT format deck, but it would still be cool to play some sort of old school strategy using these banned cards. Maybe they don't want people crafting cards that they can't use on the ranked ladder, I have no idea, but that would be one thing I'd like to see changed in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the new Master Duel ban list. What decks are you going to try out? Are you going to play in the ranked mode? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you later though. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.